Hi, friends. Welcome. Happy Monday. I hope everybody is enjoying this fantastic weather. If you're in the Philadelphia area, it's beautiful out. Make sure to get some vitamin D today. Today's workout is going to take on a nice, slow, gentle movement between some Pilates and yoga moves. All levels are welcome. We can modify anything, so make sure that you're not doing anything that hurts your body or puts yourself in stress. Make sure to modify things or rock into child's pose whenever you feel like you might need a break, and then return and join the workout again. All you need today is a mat or something soft to put below your knees for a couple of the movements, a water bottle, and perhaps a towel if you are someone who might want to sweat a bit and towel off. But other than that, we're going to be using mostly body weight and balance for today's workout. So I'll give you all a couple of minutes just to grab those items, get yourself set up. I'm checking the chat feature, so please let me know if you're having any trouble hearing me, or if your audio visual is coming through spotty. I'm trying a new internet connection today, so hopefully we'll have a nice smooth ride. All right, so we'll get started in just about 1 minute, okay? And for those of you who already are here, feel free to just shake it out, do a couple movements to get yourself loose. Okay, so let's get moving. So we're going to come to the center of our mat, and we're going to just start out with a couple slow and low squats, just to sort of open up our muscles, open up our joints, just slow and steady. And we're going to move to a nice reach and squat. Reach and squat. Reach and squat. And each time, see if you can sink down just a little bit lower into that squat and reach just a little bit further. Really opening up those obliques, opening up those glutes, getting yourself all ready to move. Great. And from here, we're going to come to standing, and we're going to take a nice dive down. So you're diving down as far as you can go to a forward fold, reaching down. It's fine if you want to bend your legs a little bit, reaching forward, starting to feel that tension in the back of the calves and legs. And we're going to come back up. Nice deep breaths, and we're going to dive down again. And again, feel free to bend your knees, start to straighten them out, bend, really getting that fold. Come back up for one more deep dive. All right, and I'm gonna check real quick, see if we're having any issues. All right, good stuff. Okay, so we're gonna start out by coming onto our mat, and you can either come down to all fours like this, so we're in a tabletop position, and we're gonna just have strong hands directly trending below our shoulder blades. Fingertips are faced forward, hands are spread wide, and we're gonna slowly kick ourselves back up into a plank position, and then rock that back into a downward dog. So we're really, really getting a nice triangle stretch here. And we're going to pedal our feet out. Just opposite sides, pedaling out, nice and slowly. And then we're going to rock back forward and come down, do a nice chaturanga and backward bend. Now you'll notice that I can't go all the way down because I have a little baby bump, but you are more than welcome to have your stomach flat on the ground for that move. And then we'll rock it back into a child's pose. Okay, and then we're going to step right back up into our downward dog and pedal it out. And then we're going to rock forward, and we're going to come down to chaturanga for our back bend. And it's fine if on your way down, instead of just doing a straight down push-up, you can come down to your knees first, and then rock down into that child's pose. Make sure you're breathing fully, really filling up that diaphragm with each movement. And we're going to come right back up for that last pedaled out downward dog. Really sinking into those heels. And then rock forward or come to your knees and lower down. Nice backward bend. And then back into child's pose. Okay, I'm going to come up into tabletop, and from here you're going to look forward, step into a stand, whatever way is comfortable for you to come to standing. Arms reaching high. I'm going to turn to you so you can see my movements here, but we're going to move into a seated chair. So our hands are high, and we're going to move up onto our toes. Nice deep breath in. And then you're going to slowly sink your arms into a cobra and sink into that chair position. So here you'll feel your weight shifting into your heels. So you can see I'm wiggling my toes here. My knees are also behind my toes so they're not rocked forward. And I'm in a nice seated chair position. We're going to hold here for 2 breaths. And then we're going to come rise back up. Arms forward. Reaching up onto those tippy toes. Deep breath. In and out. Really trying to gain that balance. Your legs should be wiggling, and we're going to sink down into that chair with the cobra arms. If you are more comfortable here, bringing your hands to heart center, that's also fine. You should feel all that weight back in your heels, wiggling those toes. And we'll hold here for 2. And slowly come back up, rising all the way to your tippies. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see. Gaining that balance. And then we're going to sink down into that chair, and I'm wiggling my toes. See how my knees are not in front of my toes. Hold here for another breath. And then come back to standing. And we're going to turn and face each other. And from here, we're going to step our legs out wide. And we're going to come into a warrior 2 position. So I'm going to take my right leg, and I'm going to shift those toes forward. My left leg is still facing forward. And bring my arms out. And we're just going to sink into a nice side lunge here. Nice and slow. And one more. And we're going to stop here in the middle, and we're going to come down for a nice triangle stretch right to the front there. Let your head hang forward. Rock it out. And if you want to heel toe your feet a little bit wider here for a more deep stretch, please feel free to do so. If you can't come all the way down, that's absolutely fine as well. It's whatever stretch feels good for you. Okay. And then we're going to come back up and we're going to switch our legs. So our left leg now is going to be facing forward. Our right foot is facing forward. Arms come out to the side. And we're going to sink down to that left leg. Nice and slow. I'm taking deep breaths on each one of these movements. Up for one more. And sink down low. We're going to hold here for 3. 1, 2, 3. Rise back up. Shift those feet facing forward. And we're going to come down for that nice triangle stretch. And here we're going to walk our fingertips over to our right. As far over as you can go comfortably. We should feel a nice stretch in the back of that right leg and those glutes and those calf muscles firing. And then we're going to shift back to the center. And we're going to walk it back over to the left. Really feeling that nice deep stretch. Come back to center. Rise up with a nice full breath. And we're going to take that again. So our right leg now is shifting out, trending right off our fingertips. Our left foot is facing forward. And we're going to do a sink lunge into that right leg. Nice. See if you can get really nice and low in that. And hold it here for 3. Breathing deeply, making sure your belly button is sucked into that spine, your core is strong. Then come back up. And then we'll shift those toes, opposite side, and sink. Nice deep breath. Last one, and we're going to hold for a 3 count. 1, 2, 3. Rise back up and sink down for that nice triangle stretch. Toes come forward facing. And we're going to trend our hands over to our right side, reaching those fingertips as far as they can go. That's comfortable for you. For nice 3 breaths here. And then we're going to walk ourselves back out. Maybe you want to walk those fingertips forward. And if you feel comfortable, perhaps a small push here. Push. Push, just waking up those arms for what's coming next. And then over to the left. Okay. Come back up. Walk our feet back to the center of the mat. Nice forward bend here. Nice forward fold, maybe reaching onto the backs of your legs. And we're going to turn back up. And now feel free to grab some water. I'm going to check our live stream just to make sure everyone's okay. All right, looks good. Okay. So by now you should feel your body has really woken up. You should feel a lot of those muscles moving. You should feel like you're starting to maybe sweat a little bit, and that's great. And you might hear my dog Bella chime in every now and then. She's a good watchdog and she loves yoga and Pilates. Okay, so we're gonna start to wake up our arms a little bit. We're gonna move down to our tabletop position. And from here you have a couple of different options. We're just gonna take 3 plank push-ups. So you can either do them from the tabletop position. So if so, you might wanna move your hands wide and then use a nice wide push-up here. Or your other option is to take it to a plank position, which would have your feet straight back out behind you, and then your arms would be straight underneath your shoulder blades for that plank push-up. And then your third option is somewhere in between, where you're in that plank position, your knees are farther behind you, and you're doing that plank push-up from here. Okay? So we're gonna take 3 push-ups here at a time, and we're gonna rock back into child's pose in between those 3 sets, just so that we're giving our arms and our core and our body a chance to rest, but we're starting to work those triceps and those arms, okay? So wherever you're comfortable, and I'm gonna stay right here where I am in a plank knee push-up, we're gonna do 3 push-ups down. 1, 2, 3. And then we're gonna rock it back to child's pose. On the second one, we're gonna hold at the bottom for a 3 count, okay? 1, 2, and 3. We're gonna hold here, elbows are in at your sides, and then push back up and rock back into child's pose. Okay, last set. We're gonna rock forward. 1, 2, 3, and if you can, give us that hold. And then rock back into child's pose. Reaching far, far, far ahead of you with those fingertips. And if you'd like to spread your legs a little wider here and really sink low into that child's pose and give yourself a nice stretch here. And then we're gonna rock up into our plank position. Kick back into downward dog and pedal these legs out again. And from here, you're going to take your right leg, step forward to the front of your mat, have your second leg join you, and come up 1 vertebrae at a time, reaching all the way up. Okay, we're going to do some leg reaches here, so we're really working on balance today. So this is going to seem like a very simple movement, but trust me, once you start doing them in the sequence that we're going to do them, tomorrow you're going to feel all of those muscles that we're working really hard to stabilize your entire core and structure, okay? So it's a very simple movement. We're just going to stand tall, straight, and we're going to start with our right leg, and we're just going to reach our right leg up to the front, out to the side, and out to the back. All the while trying to keep the body straight up, okay? So it's a straight leg up to the front, out to the side, out to the back. I'm going to show you on from the side here as well. To the front, toes are flexed, back to center, out to the side, out to the back. Okay, one more time on this leg. Reaching forward, reaching to the side, and reaching to the back. If it's helpful for you to put your arms out, go for it. You also have the option to grab a chair. So if you have a chair next to you, that can help you with the stabilization as well, okay? So I'm going to switch sides now, so we're going to be using our left leg now to move. So with the chair, or without, you're going to reach to the front, Reach to the side, reach to the back. Reach to the front, reach to the side, reach to the back. Front, side, back. Awesome. So we're going to do that one more round through, okay? So I'm going to face you this time with that right leg again. Your left one is the stabilizer. It's not moving, but it's working really hard to keep your body straight. Reach to the front, to the side, to the back. Front, side, back. And you should feel that stabilizing leg shaking and wiggling, trying to hold you still. Front, side, back. Okay, gain your balance. Maybe give a little wiggle there in the middle. And we're going to switch to your left leg. Same thing. Like I said, hands on hips, hands out, hands on a chair, whatever works for you for balance. Reach to the front. Make sure you're flexing that toe up. To the side. To the back. Front. Side. Back. Front. Side. Back. Excellent. Bring those feet back down. Give a little shake out. And this is our last set of these. And the challenge that I'm going to add in, if you should choose to take it, is when you have your foot extended, we're going to add 3 pulses there at the end of our extension. So I'll show you a demonstration. So if we're doing the right leg, I would reach up. And in this position, I'd pulse up. 1, 2, 3. To the side. 1, 2, 3. To the back. 1, 2, 3. You absolutely don't have to do the pulses. It's an added challenge, but I certainly want to throw it out there in case you're feeling like maybe you can take it to the next level, or maybe if you've been using the chair, you could try to float your hand above it and not rely on it fully for stabilization, okay? So with that right leg, let's take it to the first one. To the front, pulse, pulse, pulse. Side, pulse, pulse, pulse. And back, pulse, pulse, pulse. To the front, pulse, pulse, pulse. To the side, pulse, pulse, pulse. To the back, pulse, pulse, pulse. Last set on the side, pulse, pulse, pulse. Pulse, pulse, pulse. Pulse, pulse, pulse. Awesome. Shake out that stabilizing leg. Shake them both out. Maybe give your arms a wiggle too. And we're going to switch to our left leg moving. Our right leg is our stabilizer. It's keeping our whole body in track. And we're going to add those pulses if you can, okay? Make sure to continue to keep your foot flexed. Pulse, pulse, pulse. Pulse, pulse, pulse. Pulse, pulse, pulse. Pulse, pulse, pulse. Side, pulse, pulse, pulse. Back, pulse, pulse, pulse. Last set. Front, pulse, pulse, pulse. To the side, pulse, pulse, pulse. To the back, pulse, pulse, pulse. Awesome work. Grab some water. And then we're going to come down to tabletop and we're going to do a couple different leg lifts. I know I can't see you, but I have a feeling you're doing great. We're going to come down to our tabletop, okay? And from here, we're going to continue with those small leg pulse movements because they really make all of the difference in the ways that our joints move and the way our muscles interact with one another. So today is all about that balance. So we're going to, from the tabletop position, we're going to reach our opposite hand and our opposite leg out, holding for a moment, and then bringing them back in. You have the option here to bring it all the way in for a crunch, or just bring it back to stabilization, okay? So we're going to start with right hand, left leg, and we're going to do 4 of these reaches with balance. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3, There's 4. Awesome. If that's a little too much for you right now, start with maybe just lifting the one arm. Just gauging that balance. The important part is to keep your core nice and tight, your back nice and flat, okay? And your hands are directly below those shoulder blades. We're going to switch the opposite side now. So left hand, right leg, and crunch. And crunch. Crunch. And crunch. Awesome. Coming back to tabletop, starting with that right leg, we're going to lift it straight behind us and just kick it straight up in the air. 7, 8. Bringing it right back down to the side and lifting it out to the side for 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'm going to face you for a moment so you can see what this looks like head on. So first I'm taking my right leg and it's coming directly up behind me and I'm just pulsing it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Bringing it right back to the by its side and fire hydrant. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Show you the third set from this side so you have all angles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Back down to the tabletop and side leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Awesome. And here, go ahead and rock back into child's pose. You did all of those exercises on the right leg. So that right leg is tired. But that left leg is also tired from being the balancer. So both of your legs have got a nice workout there. Okay, and now we're going to have some fun on the other side because it's only fair. So this time, we're using our left leg as the mover. Okay? So we're going to start in our tabletop position. And we're going to start with our balance reaches. So we're going to reach and crunch together. And it really doesn't matter which arm and leg you start with here, whichever one's comfortable for you. If you started with the left side first, that's great. Move to the right side now. Just make sure that you're making an even reach. Okay? Last one. Great. So we're in our tabletop position, and we're going to move that left leg. So the left leg comes straight up behind for 8 pulses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Bring it back to start and give us those 8 fire hydrants. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And right back up. We've got 2 more sets of those. The left leg is coming straight up for 8 pulses. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Down to fire hydrant. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Last time, same leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Awesome. Legs come wide. Rock back into child's pose for a nice pause. Breathing deeply. Reaching as far as you can so that it feels good. you're ready, rock back forward. And we're gonna towel off. Grab some water. And we're almost there. So we've got one more movement for our legs, and then we're gonna finish with some quick core exercises, okay? So from our position here, we are going to step back up into a plank position. And from here, you're gonna take your right leg, step it forward, and you're just gonna rise up, okay? So did everyone see that? I'm gonna do one more movement. Okay, so we're starting in our tabletop. We're gonna step back into the plank position with your right leg stepping forward. And then once you've gained your balance, bring those arms straight up above for a nice deep lunge here, okay? And then we're gonna come back down to our hands, step that foot back, come to your knees if you need to, that's absolutely fine. And when you're ready, into the plank, step forward with your left foot and come up. Into that nice deep lunge. I'm having a little trouble with my step forward because I have a little baby bump in the way there. But as you can see, everything can be modified. And we'll step back into our our child's pose. And we're going to do each of those one more time. So when you're ready, rock forward, step up into plank, step forward with your right leg, gain that balance. Nice deep breath at the top here. And lower back down, stepping back. If you can hold it in the plank, that's awesome. Step that left leg forward. Rising for the balance. Nice breath here. And down. Great job. Stay in the plank, come to your knees, rock back. Give yourself a nice breath of rest here. And we're gonna do that one last time, both legs, okay? When you're ready, rock into tabletop, step it up into plank, right foot comes forward, gain that balance. And back down. In the plank, left foot comes forward. Come back down, step it back into plank. Rock back up into downward dog, pedal those legs out. If you'd like to take a chaturanga here, please do. For a nice back bend. We'll move it right back into child's pose. Let's get our legs nice and wide there so we can get a nice deep sink. Okay, and then the last thing we're gonna do is just some finishing core exercises. So of course we have some modifications for whatever works best for you, but we're gonna start with 10 bicycles. We're gonna move to 10 half crunches, and then we're gonna finish up with 8 pendulum legs. So I'm gonna demonstrate all of these for you. Some of you might be familiar with them, some of them might be brand new, and that's totally cool also. So for bicycles, we wanna come down to our flat back. Nothing underneath here, no curve here, nice flat bellies. We're gonna bring our legs up, and our arms are gonna be behind our ears, our hands are behind our ears. And we're just gonna alternate touching our alternate elbow to our alternate knee. So it'll be a reach. These are the bicycles. If that's a little too hard for you, that's fine. You can also, from the same position, just alternate leg tap downs. Okay, so whichever of those two variations you prefer, either our bicycles or the tap downs. Okay? From there, we're going to bring our feet flat. Maybe I'll face you this way so you can see what's happening in the front here. Feet are flat on the floor, about hips length apart. And I'm going to take my hands into a karate chop. And I'm just going to thread them right through and to the outside. So through the middle and then to each outside. So I'm just varying where that karate chop lands. So you're getting a nice twist in your core when you're heading out to the sides. And a nice forward bend as well. Great. And then the last part of this series is called pendulum legs. So you want to bring your legs up to the 90-degree angle like we had for bicycles or tap downs. And then with your arms flat out at the side for stabilization, you're going to rock those bent knees from side to side, tapping down like a pendulum. So your back and your shoulders and arms should not be moving, just your very lower torso as it rocks back and forth. So this is an awesome exercise for your core. Okay, so I'm going to face you so you can see where those toes are tapping down. So they're just rocking to either side. And if you're more advanced, you could take this to a straight leg. So it's whatever works for you. Otherwise, a nice bent knee. Imagine those knees glued together. And we're here for 5 more. Awesome. So that's the whole series. We're going to do it one more time all the way through, okay? So we're coming back to our backs. For those bicycles, we want 10 of them or 10 tap downs, whatever is comfortable for you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Feet come down to flat, hands in karate chop, and we're chopping straight through the center and then alternating where our chops land. So I'm going right, center, left, center, right, center, left, center. One more round, right, center, left, center, and then right into those pendulum legs. Arms come out to the sides, knees come up to the 90-degree angle, and we're just rocking from side to side with a toe tap down. Last one. Awesome. Whew. Bring those legs straight out, those arms straight up above. You did so awesome. Reach, reach, reach as far as you can. Just let your muscles feel that relaxation after such a great workout. Point your toes and then flex them up. And point your toes and then let them flex back up. And bring your legs up. Maybe grab each of your knees into a happy baby. And just do a little rock back, sort of massaging those back muscles and the lower and top glute muscle. Just rocking it back and forth. Taking some deep breaths here. Maybe you want to do a circular pelvis rotation. And maybe you bring it back the other way. And if it's more comfortable for you, you can also grab your toes in this position. But I feel good right here where I am. And bring those feet down, giving a nice stretch out to the side. And either roll up or come up, whatever way is comfortable. Usually I like to hook my hands behind a knee and use that as like a little crane to lift me up. And we're going to come to a nice seated position here, right on those seat bones. And let's just reach straight up. And Let those arms come back down. You're bringing that energy up and around you. Nice. Reach down. And maybe you rock those arms to one side using your leg to help you get a nice back stretch there. And walk those hands around, giving yourself another nice opposite side back stretch. And whatever way is the most comfortable for you to move into a nice tabletop position and rock back into a wide leg child's pose. And then come up and push yourself into a nice downward dog for one last pedal out. And step forward, coming up. We're going to do a nice dive down here. Nice forward fold. Feel free to bend your legs here. And let's bring our arms together and come into a nice ragdoll. Rocking back and forth. And then come up one vertebrae nice and slowly at a time. And roll those shoulders back. Let's get a couple more shoulder rolls in. Let's turn our heads to one way and then to the other. And maybe give them a nice forward roll all the way in a full circle and then go back the other way. Really getting that neck nice and stretched out and relaxed. Let's do one big arms reach high, downward dive. Really releasing that air. And back up. One more time. And back up. And hands to center. Thank you so much for joining me on this beautiful Monday. I hope that you enjoyed this. I'm always open to feedback. I had a wonderful time working out with everyone today. Make sure that you're staying safe, healthy, and happy. Make sure to follow Chestnut Hill College on Facebook, Instagram. You can also follow my Leader Lifestyles on Instagram for some nutrition tips and other fitness exercise tips. Otherwise, God bless you. Have a wonderful Monday, and I hope to see you back here again next Monday at 1 o'clock.